Hello, everyone. This is Kevin, your entrepreneur, and it's time to finish discussing Uber's Hell mode. I do know that the last video it got a little away from me. Not gonna lie, I got a little upset. Um, the reasons of which I will partly explain here. And I actually expected some of the responses that I got. I did. And I'm going to address a couple of those responses too. Here's the thing though, it's not the biggest video I've ever made, not by a long shot. I mean, it's still less than 400 views. I consider 300 views a success, and this is over it, so I guess it's a success. But now that some of my videos have actually been getting like 1,000 or 2,000 views, I'm not sure this one really traveled very fast. Interestingly though, Uberman commented on it. He commented on a couple of my videos, and I kind of he's big enough where I kind of assume when he's commenting on something, you're either doing something really right or you're doing something really wrong. And maybe I was doing something really wrong. I'm probably still wrong about this. Because here's the thing. Well, actually, I will discuss that. We're gonna put a pin in that. But first of all, yeah. So, in case the point was lost in the last video, and it probably was, it's that basically Uber did spy on your activities as a driver on the Lyft platform. And strategies were brought to Uber. Like they said, hey, these are the drivers who either switch between the apps or drive mostly for Lyft or almost never drive for Uber at all. And they brainstormed with Kalanick personally to make offers to those people that would entice them to drive for Uber again. And of course, that's a problem. If you drove for Uber all the time and either rarely drove for Lyft or didn't drive for Lyft at all, even if you had the app, you got no bonuses, you got no boost. Loyalty didn't mean anything to them. It still doesn't mean anything. I'm remaining calm. Don't worry, folks. I might be a little slower on this one than I usually am, but I will get through it. Interestingly, after 2 weekends of, or 2 weekends? No, I'm sorry. It's probably just been 1 week. After 1 week of getting no offers whatsoever and barely driving for Uber, I got boost promotions again. So I am definitely, aside from the fact that there was hardcore reporting by Engadget and Pando and all these other sites, I am very, very inclined to believe that they are monitoring how you use the apps. And the big argument that came into all of this, and I'm not saying it's an invalid argument, but I'm getting tired of hearing it, is, believe it or not, you agreed to this when you signed the user agreement. And that you should really read what you sign before you sign it or agree to it. Now, I'm going to address the second point first. Yes, you should read everything that you agreed to. And believe it or not, I did. I know you don't believe me right now, but I did. And here's, to my recollection, as much as I remember when it comes to the data on your phone. It was the way it's worded, and they word it so that it's such a legality. And legalities, as my dad say, are things lawyers who defend guilty people love. Where it speaks in broad strokes that are neither narrowing but they still kind of suggest what they should be doing with the data that they mine and what kind of information they're taking, because they say we have the right to take whatever information, we're going to take your trips, your rides, and yes, I do remember they said like the photos for to improve the platform and the services. And by the way, they say the same thing about passengers as well, and I guarantee you they're spying on the passengers on some way. The story just hasn't broke yet because no one's gotten the proof. We have the proof that they're spying on the drivers, though. And, here's the thing. That is very vaguely worded because it's like, it says, oh, well, we can use it to improve our platform and our services. But that's the thing. It's saying to improve the platform, which in my opinion is the app, and the services, which is the service Uber provides people. Maybe I'm naive. No, I'm not naive. I know how some people are going to respond, but I don't see how spying on what I'm doing at my other job, so to speak, is any of your business in improving the platform. You can see without spying on my activity whether or not people are showing up to work or not, and whether or not that's a problem. You can see through the surge and the complaints you get about the surge that there aren't as many drivers on the road. And heck, all you have to do to find out how many Lyft drivers there are without violating our privacy is to turn on the Lyft app, turn it to the passenger mode, and see how many Lyft cars are on the road. You can count them. And improving services does not give you the right to do unethical business practices and illegal things. People say act as if there's a user agreement that you agree to, that automatically it makes it okay. No, it doesn't. It does not. If Uber or Lyft in the user agreement said, oh, by the way, by signing this, you agree to kill every fifth person that comes in the car, does not make it okay. Now, they, of course, would never do that, and I'm, of course, not even suggesting you do that. This is a very hypothetical situation. A very, very hypothetical. Let's say you signed a user agreement, and it said, every fifth passenger you pick up, you shoot them in the head. Is the law going to say, oh, well, it's in the user agreement, so I guess you're off the hook? No, you're still breaking the law, stupid. In fact, really, here's a question I have for everyone. If this is okay, if us agreeing to this makes it okay and we're the idiots because we just didn't read it, why are they getting sued over this? Why are they, I need the notes here just so that I don't mess up. Why are a couple of law firms saying that the company is potentially facing breach of contract, unfair business practices, misappropriation of trade secrets, and violation of the Federal Computer Fraud and Abuse Act? We agreed to the terms, so they should be safe, right? And yet they're about to be sued for all of these things. Can you explain that to me? And really, even if hypothetically, we agreed to it, so it's okay. We agreed to letting them steal our secrets and monitoring our, movements and giving this company through our phone an unfair edge in the competition compared to the other company that we happen to like more, by the way, and hypothetically killing every fifth person that gets the Uber car. Even if by agreeing to that it was okay, my question is, why do we just accept it? Why are we accepting it? There really has to be a line where it's like, you know what? We sometimes agree to these terms because we don't have a whole lot of choice in the matter. We need to make money. We need to provide for our families. But why are we just okay with it? Why aren't we more pissed? Why, when this stuff comes up, do you realize how many companies would change if we just actually turned on these companies? If every single person turned on these companies, every single one of them sued them, like, or just did something, stopped using the product, sued them, did both, one or the other, or a combination of all the above, because it's like, hey, we don't like being spied on. The companies wouldn't have a product. They wouldn't. But they do because we just accept it. Why do we just accept it? Yeah, I don't know. And here's the thing. So that's what it's not here's the thing. That's why I wonder. I'm getting really tired of people telling me you agree to it in the user agreement. It doesn't mean anything. User agreements that people sign, the people still sue the companies when they are in conflict with the law. This here, I'm not sure if it borderlines on monopoly, but again, it does give the competitor an unfair advantage through spying and doing things like, here's the thing, if you do a control F search in the user agreement for Uber and you type in Lyft, absolutely nothing in there says that they're going to use the app to spy on your Lyft activities. Again, they have some broad language with what you allow them to use, but they're broad and yet they're specific enough to suggest that while they could mean we can use it for anything, they suggest it's going to be used for this stuff, and I don't think spying on my Lyft activity counts under this. But I'm not a lawyer, of course. Maybe we should get the copyright attorney to clue us in on this. And now it's time for a little personal story, just because I know some people are really genuinely curious why I got so upset and what it was I was thinking about when I got upset. And I'm going to tell part of the story because the full story is too painful. And if you don't like personal stories, then go away. I don't want to hear it. This is Tabitha. This person, she is my world. Best friend. Would have done anything for her. Not part of my life right now. It's a long story and it's a hard story. But her not being in my life has been causing me much pain. And it has been for a long time. Now, I'm thankful for this YouTube channel because it kind of helps me get my mind off things. Otherwise, I lay awake at night thinking about what happened. Thinking about what could have happened had something just slightly different been done. Just slightly different, where would we be? Would she still be in my life? And so I'm grateful to the YouTube channel that I don't have panic attacks about that as much because I have something to do and I have someone to talk to and I have things to report on. And when I was making the last video, it dawned on me that someone at Uber was probably looking at this photo on the phone because I don't trust any companies. And I started thinking what kind of comments they were making about it. Were they making fun of the fact that I was short and she was tall? That I was a little pudgy and she was beautiful? Like, hey, that guy doesn't deserve a girl like that. Trust me, guys, I know. I know. But the idea that someone was just overlooking that photo at Uber, and that culture has been very well documented to be unsympathetic and callous and unkind, even. We're looking over my personal photos like this. That pissed me off. That made me upset, and that's why I abruptly ended the video. So, and maybe no one cared. No one at Uber, maybe no one cared about the photo. Maybe no one was saying anything. I don't know. But here's the thing. And I guess this is the point I'm trying to drive home. We know that companies ask for access to information. We know this, and we agree to it, yes. But it's kind of like someone owning a gun. It's legal, you know they have it, but when you find out they're willing to use it on you, that is a bit that they're willing to use it on you. That is a very disturbing thing, and that is upsetting to boot. So, there we go. We're going to end it there. I know this has gone on long enough. I anticipate a lot of people to write nasty comments. I do. But I'm definitely getting to the point where I don't really want to use these services anymore. I just don't want people meddling in my life like that. I will share something with you if I'm ready and if I want to. For the record, I did want to share this. Still not sure how I feel about sharing the story about what happened, but needless to say, I don't know. How do I put this? To lose someone like this in your life is almost akin to losing your right arm. You can learn to live without it. Sometimes through necessity, you have to learn to live without it. But you don't want to. And that's where I'm going to end it. Please, flame responsibly. Have a good night.